Good morning everybody, I am Sarah with the trains and you find me here today at the Mid-Norfolk Railway ready to celebrate their 30th birthday. There's some really great locomotives lined up today. There's 33, 47 and two Class 43s. Yes, we've got a HST set and that's going to be the last chance we've got to ride behind those locomotives before they're shipped off overseas. The line between Dereham and Wymondham that now forms the Mid-Norfolk Railway was originally opened to passengers on the 15th of February 1847 by the Norfolk Railway, having been opened to freight on the 7th of December 1846. Another station in Dereham was opened in 1848 with the Lynn and Dereham Railways line from King's Lynn. This was sited near the junction with the Norfolk Railway, but it is unclear of its exact location, as it closed after just 2 years, when trains from Lynn were extended to the Norfolk Railway station. In 1857, a line from Dereham to Wells was opened. Dereham Station originally had 4 platforms with an extensive goods yard including 3 goods sheds, a cattle yard, coal yard, sidings for the maltings trade, and additional War Department sidings during the Second World War. A triangle junction was provided for the line to Lynn so that some trains didn't have to reverse in the station. The locomotive depot, which included a 2-road engine shed that was originally wooden but rebuilt in brick in 1926, and stables for the horses used for shunting and delivery carts, was located within the triangle. The triangle was controlled by 4 signal boxes, none of which remain. The depot closed as a steam shed in 1955 and afterwards was used for stabling DMUs that had been introduced on the line, before ultimately closing in 1968 and subsequently being demolished. The site of the old depot in the triangle is now a leisure centre. There is a new depot at Dereham, however. This has been built on part of the old goods yard. Sadly, Dr. Beechin recommended cuts be made to services from Dereham. The line to Wells was recommended to be closed and the last train ran in 1964. It was also recommended that the line to Norwich and King's Lynn be retained for freight and express services only. The link to Lynn, however, was cut in 1968 to allow for improvements on the A47. Passenger services to Norwich ceased in 1969, but the tracks through Dereham Station were used by freight into the 1980s. The station suffered a fire in 1988 that gutted the interior and destroyed the roof. The Mid-Norfolk Railway later restored this and it was opened to passengers in 1997. The Mid-Norfolk Railway opened in 1995 from its original base at Yaxham to a platform built at Dereham. Trains began to run from Dereham Station once tracks had been relaid in 1997. The section of the line from Wymondham was purchased in 1998 and a connection with the main line was passed for use by freight. The line's northernmost station is at County School, but track and signalling work is currently ongoing to restore that section of the line. 2 of the signal boxes have been rebuilt since preservation. Dereham North used to be at Laundry Lane in Lowestoft, and Dereham Central was originally Stratford Southern in London. As you can see, the station building is decorated to celebrate the 30th birthday. And in that building you have got the booking hall, there's a gift shop, there's also a refreshment room, very important. At the head of our first train of the day, we've got a Class 33, 33202 Dennis G. Robinson. This locomotive was released from the works on the 9th of February 1962 and was one of 98 produced. This locomotive had various names during its working life. In 1991 it was named the Broomer Star, and in 2002 it was bought by Fragonset Railways and used for rail tours and freight under the name Meteor. It was finally withdrawn in 2007 and sold into preservation in 2009. It moved to the Mid-Norfolk Railway in 2018 to assist with engineering works at Kimberley Park. At the opposite end, we've got a Class 47, 47580, County of Essex. This locomotive was built by Brush Traction and was released from the works on the 1st of September 1964. The Class 47 locomotives were used for passenger workings, intercity and freight. Of the 512 Class 47s produced, there are 62 still active. 31 on heritage railways, and 31 with mainline train operating companies. 33 were also converted to Class 57s between 1998 and 2004. 47580 was originally named County of Essex in 1979 until August of 1993. It was then renamed to Restore Mill in 1995. It was withdrawn from traffic by EWS in 2004 and stored at Towton until it was bought by the Stratford 47 Group. It's mainline registered and was painted into the Queen's Platinum Jubilee livery in June 2022. Well, you've had a look at the locomotives. We are now on board the train heading to Wymondham Abbey. I've got some breakfast, which was quite a tradition for me when I used to travel on the slam door stock heading from Norwich to London, so it's nice to relive that. Next to us, we've got something very special. Can you tell what it is? We do, of course, have the beautiful comfy seats with, you know I always say it, beautiful moquette. Tell me that's not lovely. It's breakfast time with Brian. Not sure he usually eats sausages though. After a ride behind that lovely Class 33, we've made it to Wymondham Abbey. Wymondham Abbey is the southern terminus of the Mid-Norfolk Railway. It was opened in 1999 and consists of just a single platform and a small booking office. Wymondham Church Lane signal box was originally at Spooner Row. It came to the Mid-Norfolk Railway in 2022. At Thuxton, we find two Class 43s, 43194 and 43153. Class 43s are the fastest diesel locomotive in the world, with a record of 148.5 miles per hour and a regular service speed of up to 125 miles per hour. The two Class 43s that are here today are both ex-Great Western Railway and were withdrawn in December 2023. They are both due to be shipped off overseas, as have numerous Class 43s before them. The station here at Thuxton originally opened on the 15th of February 1847 on the line between Dereham and Wymondham. There was a single siding goods yard on the downside, but no goods shed or any fixed loading facilities. From June 1965, when the line was singled, only the down platform was used for passenger services until 2010. The station closed to freight in 1964 and then to passengers in 1969. It was then reopened by the Mid-Norfolk Railway in 1997. As you can see, the up platform has been restored to its original length, but the down platform is still a little short, so you can only get on and off certain doors on the train. The signal box here is a new build. The original was to the north of the platforms, but had been demolished by 1955. The new box to the south of the level crossing has some components from East Winch signal box, and the 26-lever Mackenzie and Holland frame from 1904 comes from Seven Sisters Station in London. So we did a very quick turnaround at Wymondham Abbey, ready to get back to Thuxton, which is where we are now, to see those two Class 43s go through. It is a bit odd to see a HST set on a heritage line where the maximum speed limit is nowhere near 125. I am now going to head back across the line to the Dereham bound platform because I do want to get on the HST when it comes back, and I don't want to get trapped on the other side of the manually operated level crossing gates. Got an old notice from the GER about the fire buckets. Somebody's disobeyed and removed the fire buckets. Naturally, it's a heritage line, so we do have the old semaphore signals. Of course, I do love a good level crossing. As you can see, next to the signal box, we've got a lovely little gradient marker. Oh, and I spy something else. It's not railway related, but it is a King George VI postbox. We have a train soon to arrive. Whether you love them or loathe them, back at Dereham, there's a pacer. I've heard them described as a Leyland bus on rails, and to be perfectly honest, when they were in service I didn't much like them, but I'd still be very intrigued to ride one on a heritage line. I'll have to come back on a pacer day. At the level crossing end of the platform at Dereham, I found an assortment of track chairs. From the Great Western Railway, the Midland Railway, the Great Northern Railway, the LMS, and to be perfectly honest, I can't tell what this one says. There's also a load of old Caledonian sleeper coaches. Unfortunately, you can't see in through the windows to view the accommodation. After a nice break at Dereham and what was quite possibly the nicest chocolate cake I've ever eaten, I'm now heading off behind a Class 33 to Thuxton. So after that very quick changeover at Thuxton, I hopped onto the HST once more and headed back to Dereham. I then completely neglected to film getting on the next train, which again was the HST, to head off all the way down to Wymondham Abbey. I then got back on that HST, again without filming the fact that it was a HST, and headed back to Dereham, having ridden with those locomotives for the final time before they're shipped off overseas. So we've come to the end of a lovely day here at the Mid-Norfolk Railway. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do drop a like, comment and consider subscribing to see more from me. I'll see you all next time for another railway adventure. Bye! As always, an extra special thank you to my patrons and channel members whose names are on screen right now, as well as everybody who donates to me on Ko-fi. Your generous support keeps this channel going. I'd also like to say an extra special hello to everybody I met on the day at the Mid-Norfolk Railway. It was great to meet so many wonderful people.